Today I'm going to show you how to do a quick and easy tire change on the KX250 without the use of any major tools. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to remove this cotter pin and remove the axle nut. Now I'm going to remove the axle nut, and I'm using a 1 1/16 socket. Take the chain off. Deflate the tire if it's not already deflated. This tire is not flat, just the treads are worn, so I'm changing it out. I'm going to loosen up this nut on the locker. This is the valve stem. This is the locker. I'm going to loosen this up. I'm not going to take it all the way off, but I'm going to loosen it down almost to the end. So I've got the wheel laying flat. I'm just going to step on this tire on the edge all the way around. I can see it coming off the rim pretty easily. One side. Next I'm going to use these tire spoons. I have 2 tire spoons and a large screwdriver to start prying the tire off of the wheel. Now the tire's off on both sides. Just push it down in there as far as I can. Alright, so tire's off. Locker. I'm going to inspect this. Make sure everything looks good. Everything looks good. Alright, so I got my new tire here. It's a 120/80/19. Now I'm going to get ready to install the new tire. Some soapy water I'm spraying on here. that's one side. I gotta flip it over. Okay, now I'm gonna put the bead lock back in. Okay, so now I'm gonna put the bead lock back in. This part of the rubber protector has the hole, so I know that that's for the Schrader valve. I've got the bead lock up in the tire. Now here's the fun part, trying to align it with the hole. Okay, change the angle here. Hopefully you can get a better look. Now I'm going to be putting the tube inside the tire. I'm going to start with where the valve is. Make sure that that's lined up. This is a heavy duty tube. It's really thick. It's not that easy to get in, but you can work it in little by little. All right, so the Schrader valve's through. So now I'm going to continue around the tire, stuffing in the tube. Just being careful not to twist it and not to put it in any position where it will get pinched. I'm just going to go around and double check that the tube's not riding on the lip of the rim anywhere so it doesn't get pinched. Now that I've made sure that the tube is over the bead locker and it's not going to get pinched anywhere, I'm going to start putting the other side of the tire on. I'm going to put on some soapy water and start getting this on. Make sure that I'm not pinching. Okay, now I'm going to put a little bit of air in the tube. It's 9 pounds. I'm going to tighten up the bead lock. Now I'm going to tighten up the Schrader valve. Now I'm going to fill it up to the proper PSI, which for me today is going to be 11. That's it. Okay, we're ready to mount it back on the bike. Before I mount this back on the bike, I'm going to re-grease all these bearings. I'm going to put some grease on the axle, and then I'll put everything back together. Now I'm going to remount the wheel. Tension should be good, so I didn't change the tensioners. Now we're ready to torque down the rear axle nut. Now I'm going to replace the cotter pin. So it's as easy as that. You can change your own tire on your KX250 or whatever other dirt bike you might ride.